Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, it's time to catch up on all the shows that we missed over the weekend. So, hey, y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, clack, clack. Welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Today, we got two live reviews for TV shows. And this is just going to be the way that I have to do it. I know Real Housewives of Dubai came on last Wednesday. Okay. Um, but I feel like that's a show that we could probably review on the heels of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I know some of y'all coming in here late, but I did put up a new intro. It looks about the same as the old intro. It's just a little bit cleaner, okay? So if y'all are watching this on playback, tell me what y'all think about the new intro. Make sure y'all are following me everywhere. But yes, hey Jay Antoinette, hey Aaron, it is time to get into the show. If y'all watch Real Housewives of Dubai, I want y'all to go ahead and tell me in the comments what y'all thought about the episode. What I really want to do is, and another thing, actually, y'all know we friends, okay? Every time I go into a tangent and I have regular thoughts and regular conversations with y'all, I have to be like, y'all know we friends. This is the whole point of a live, okay? I can't edit out my random thoughts. Anyway, number one, Love and Marriage Huntsville. I know that came on first. But Love and Marriage Huntsville has just been giving so much that I cannot review Love and Marriage Huntsville before I review Real Housewives of Atlanta. So for those of you who are coming in right now, or those of you who will watch this on the playback, be sure that after we get off of this live, y'all get into that live so we can watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. So that's why I'm telling y'all, go ahead and turn on your notifications, okay? So that way you won't be like, oh my gosh, where's the link? I don't know where the link is whenever Necey gets ready to go live. Turn on your notifications, okay? So right after this one, we're going to talk about Love and Marriage DC, Love and Marriage Huntsville. It very much was given other side of the tracks. But while a couple of y'all come in here, can we have a random conversation real quick? Let's have a random conversation real quick, okay? Y'all know I don't like to do gossip. Well, it's not because I feel like I'm better than reviewing gossip. I just don't like to do gossip because it's too much to keep up with, to be honest. It's a whole lot to keep up with. But like I always tell y'all, okay? We friends here. So I ain't seen y'all since last Thursday, and I just wanted to talk to y'all about what's been in the news. And this ain't no review. I'm not even gonna add it to the title of the video, but what y'all think about Lori and Michael B. Jordan? I just want to know what y'all think. Like, I can't wait to talk to the ladies about this on Thursday for Ooh Ladies First panel. But I wanted to ask y'all, what do y'all think? Because I can't wait all the way until Thursday to talk about Lori and Michael B. Jordan. A lot of people are saying that they think that it was a contract. Some people are saying that she broke up with him. They was looking at him at the NBA Finals game last night, looking like, although we've gone, he was looking so hurt. Okay, to the end of the road, he was looking hurt. As far as myself, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Whenever they first got together, I thought it was contract. I thought it was contractual AF. And now I really don't know. I really don't know what to think of it. They say that they both still love each other. So I'm like, if you love each other, why can't y'all just be together? I don't understand. And then I also feel like it was odd that we didn't get a statement from them because y'all remember whenever Keith and Ryan Destiny broke up, they gave a statement. And even then, when they gave a statement, I was kind of like, y'all ain't got to give no statement. Y'all wasn't married. But low key, I feel like if you are one of those couples who is always posting, you're always creating like a lens for people to look into your relationship, then I feel like maybe you should say something. I feel like it would just be easier to control your own narrative, to tell your own story before somebody else does. So that's why I find it so crazy that we found out about this by way of a source. And I'm like, why? Why did we find out about this by way of a source? Jay says, I was hoping they would work out. but I can't say I was surprised. Lori loves him and leaves him. Zelly Boo says, I think Michael B was too slow for Lori, and he usually dates the other persuasion. That is what people were saying. That is what the people were saying. They saying y'all all think so. Golden Baby says Lori just making her rounds, looking for the next available black rich person to associate herself with. Look, I don't know. I used to think that before, but now I truly don't know. What I thought was real interesting about the statement that they put out, the statement, somebody from Michael B. Jordan's camp, we can assume, put out the statement, and they said something along the lines of like, Lori's first real relationship. And I thought that was funny. I thought that was really funny. Just because how many relationships or situationships have we seen Lori in, and y'all make it a point to say that this one is her first real relationship? I'm like, okay. But beyond that, y'all, I just wanted to get that off my chest, okay? I wanted to talk to y'all about Real Housewives of Dubai. That is going to be the pregame for Real Housewives of Atlanta. So if y'all have not already, pour up a glass. This is the pregame. Pour up, something light. And then whenever we get into like Love and Marriage Huntsville, that'll be like the real, get you a tequila tonic for that one. But for this one, I'm just going to sip on some wine. So for Real Housewives of Dubai, what I'm going to do is introduce y'all to each of the ladies. Then I'm going to tell y'all basically like the main source of drama this episode. And I'm going to leave this screen up for right now because I know y'all don't know any of the ladies, and I want y'all to see exactly who it is that I'm talking about. So let me start with Ayan. Hold on. Let me make sure I get this right because I don't want to mislead y'all. Okay, no. Let's start left to right. So the furthest left, we have Dr. Sarah Al-Madani. I've seen this lady so many times on social media. I feel like I might have seen her on TikTok or something. But anyway, she's born and raised in the UAE. She's an entrepreneur, blah, 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 big on Instagram. She's now a single mother. And we're going to see her date on this show after being divorced 2 times. Okay. So with Sarah, I really didn't find out that much about Sarah this episode. The main heavy hitters are the 4 ladies in the middle. Okay. They placed them exactly by what type of drama they were bringing to the group. So second, we have Carolyn Brooks. Carolyn Brooks, y'all, I low-key like her. I do like her. I'm not going to compare her to anybody else on any of the other shows, but I feel like she is going to, I can't even compare her to anybody just yet, but I like her. She's in real estate, and I like her story. She basically let us know, like, hey, I done got it out the mud, okay? She is from some area in Boston. She's been in Dubai for 12 years. She came to Dubai because she was married, had a son, and, in your mind, you automatically think that all of these ladies came to Dubai to just be with somebody who had some money, which is true for a lot of these ladies. The majority of these ladies came to Dubai to be with somebody who had some money. They were married to a rich man. But I want to find out more about Carolyn Brooks' relationship, because whenever she divorced her husband, she decided to walk away with nothing. So I'm thinking to myself, you've moved all the way from Boston to Dubai. You've had a child by this man who has all this money to change your lifestyle. And then all of a sudden you decide to leave the marriage with nothing. Okay. And if it was up to me and I put in all that work, moved to a whole nother country far, far, far away, I'm leaving with something. So I feel like she's probably a really, really strong woman just because of how far she's come. And also, who leaves with nothing? I feel like it must have been so toxic that you just said, you know what? I choose me. You can have it all. Take everything. All I want is my last name. Okay. So for the white lady, Carolyn Stanberry. Oh, Tiff says she probably cheated. You think so? Why would she decide to leave with nothing? That is so wild to me. But okay, Carolyn Stanbury. This one right here, y'all. She's British. She's been in Dubai for a long time. I think like 17 years. No. That's a lie. Carolyn Stanbury has been there for 7.5 years. She came there married, got divorced 2.5 years after being there. Yup, I agree, Tiff. I think she had no choice. I agree. It was a prenup. Anyway, and then Zelly says she said that she left with nothing so he wouldn't have control over her child. How does that work though? You know what I mean? Like I know that that's what you say, but how does that work? If you decide to leave with nothing, his father doesn't have control over him. I don't know, girl. But anyway, y'all, Carolyn, we're gonna call her Black Carolyn, White Carolyn. Carolyn Stanbury, White Carolyn. I had mixed feelings about this lady. I don't think I'm gonna like her. I don't. And I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I didn't really care for her, and it's petty as hell. I swear to you, it's petty as hell. Whenever they first showed Carolyn on the episode, they show her sitting in the bed with her young husband, which good for her, that looks like her son, or young fiance. Let me get that right. Young fiance. She claims she's 43, but she's very much giving 47. She's 43. Her fiance is 27. His name is Sergio. But the thing that made me say, I ain't gonna like you, is she had a dog. The dog was in the bed, and she said, oh, the dog's already peed in the bed. Oh, Sergio, the dog's already peed in the bed. And they both continue to lay in the bed where the dog has peed. I'm like, girl, what? So this whole situation, this whole first episode has to do with an event being held by Carolyn Stanbury. Because she has, I think she said that she was Jewish and her husband is Catholic, so they can't get married in Dubai, but she wanted to have a bachelorette party this episode with her fiance there. So this is where all the drama is centered around. Carolyn Stanbury having this party. And yes, it is nasty, Taylor, and I thought I was tripping. I was like, is nobody... Hey, fave, I was like, is nobody about to get this pee out the bed? Y'all just sitting there, let it saturate into the covers? Disgusting. But anyway, Carolyn has this bachelorette party, and this is what all the drama comes from. Carolyn also has shown that she's had 2 maids this episode, okay? So both Carolyns have maids from what we see so far. Black Carolyn Brooks, they're going to call her Brooks, she had a maid come, bring her some drink. She was like, do we have straws in the house? She got 2 homes. And now Carolyn Stanbury, she also had 2 maids in the episode. The maid made her like a smoothie, and she said the smoothie was nasty. I'm not understanding. I would like to know more about the source of their money. Not because I doubt it, but because I just want to know. The amount of money y'all have is just like insane, okay? Especially for y'all to be divorced and some of y'all to walk away with nothing. So I don't know how I feel about Carolyn, but we'll move on from Carolyn. Let me introduce y'all to Chanel Ayan. Chanel Ayan is the tall, long-legged Black goddess. She's the first Black supermodel in Dubai. And to me, I thought that was a little crazy, only because she doesn't even look that old. Like, she got some age on her, but she doesn't look that old. She has a 16-year-old son and is the first Black supermodel in Dubai. So I guess that makes sense, because at the beginning of the episode, they talk about how Dubai went through this like huge industrial shift in 1966. So I guess that makes sense. There probably wouldn't be that many Black women over there before that time. She's a mom of 1. She says she's a cool mom. But y'all, I'm letting y'all know right now, Chanel Ayan is going to be the drama. Chanel Ayan is about to be... I don't think I've ever seen a housewife with as much drama as her. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. She's coming for the girls very much the same way that Kenya was coming for the girls in her introductory seasons when she was twirling on the haters. So Chanel is full of herself, and I don't know. I'm just gonna wait on that one to see how I feel about her. So next, y'all, we see Lisa. Lisa is married to Rich. She has 3 boys, and she seems to be the one that gets along with pretty much all of the ladies in the group. Whereas for the rest of the ladies, it depends on what damn day of the week it is. And also for Lisa, she's a fashion designer. She has a maternity line. And I think that Lisa is the one that everybody was saying was on College Hill. They definitely were saying that. Okay, and then lastly, y'all, this one right here is Nina Ali, the last on the right. She's from Lebanon. She's been in Dubai for about 10 years with her husband, but she's originally from Austin, Texas. And she keeps talking about like having this rebellious type spirit. That's all she keeps talking about. And she wants to know if her friend Sarah has some rebel in her, yada, yada, yada. She's going to be the one that's going to try to break the stereotype that women from Dubai are submissive. So she's going to break that stereotype. So now that y'all know all the ladies, let me just tell y'all what the main source of drama was this episode. So the main source of drama was, hold on. Okay. The main source of drama, y'all, was Carolyn in this hen party. So Carolyn had her bachelorette party. She invited only those closest to her. Or some of the ladies were misconstruing what she was saying, and they said she only invited people that was important to her. So come to find out, y'all, Chanel Iman, Chanel Ion, standing right next to White Carolyn, she didn't get an invitation. So she was low-key feeling some type of way about not getting an invitation, but she didn't want to say that she was feeling some type of way. She kept trying to make it seem like she more so had an issue with the ladies stirring up drama about her not going. The main one is Carolyn Brooks, the Black Carolyn. Black Carolyn was calling around gossiping about Chanel Ayan not being invited to White Carolyn's bachelorette party. So they all go, they have a good time, but obviously Chanel is feeling some type of way because that doesn't mean that she's not important just because she didn't get an invitation. Let me fix this. Yeah, whatever. Just because she didn't get an invitation doesn't mean that she's not important. And she was absolutely tired of the ladies saying that. Brooks is messy. Brooks is messy. And she was like, no, I was just joking. I didn't say that. And Ayan's like, well, that's what you said. So all the ladies are showing up at this little event and Ayan gets straight to it. Like, hey, I wasn't invited to this damn bachelorette party. So go on, change the subject. Let's talk about something else, something that I was actually a part of because I wasn't a part of this bachelorette. Carolyn, White Carolyn, keeps saying, well, I only didn't invite you because the boat holds so many people. The boat was huge, y'all. She could have invited that lady, but she just don't fool with her. So I've never seen the ladies argue this way since like the earlier seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Black Carolyn Brooks is saying to Ayan, you think somebody's jealous of you with your stiff wig on your head 3 inches back from your hairline? And Ayan is saying, look at your face and look at my face, bitch. Like, it's just, I don't know. I'll have to see how this show grows on me. But for the meanwhile, y'all, I think that this is gonna be like our little teaser before we get into Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I know a lot of y'all are not gonna make that transition from Atlanta to Dubai. So for now, at least for now, y'all can count on me to review Real Housewives of Dubai. All right, y'all. So now let's get into some things that y'all actually want to talk about. We're going to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. I thought it was a pretty decent episode. But before we talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, let's go ahead and talk about Drew. Drew out here, girl. What y'all need to do something with y'all girl, Drew. I cannot deal with her because she's always saying something that's just like, why? Nobody forced you to say that. Nobody, it's just she says and does things that won't work in her favor. And I'm just like, why do you continue to do this? I wanted to find the picture of LeBron. Okay, so this episode, and we're gonna talk about it once we get into the episode, but I just want to talk about the gospel now. Shit. So this episode, the ladies were talking about, have you ever, well, who's the most famous person that you dated? And Candy says she dated Jared Levert. They got a song together that's never come out before. Watch Candy drop the song by the end of the year. She ain't gonna pass up a coin. And then Drew Sidora says, well, I once dated a certain king of the NBA. And, he used to listen to my songs before the game started, and he used to fly me out. And, a lot of his championships he won because of me. And I'm like, Drew, I never understand why people do this. I never understand why people do this, because in my opinion, when it comes to me and my husband, you didn't date nobody before me. Don't nobody before me exist. So what are you talking about? Even whenever like Ray J and Kim shit come up in the news, I'm always like, why are y'all even talking about it? Just because y'all are so far removed from whatever situationship y'all were in. And then number two, don't she did. JC said Candy dropped the song this weekend. I told y'all she was gonna do that. Oh my gosh, she's a fool. But anyway, especially if we were not in a serious relationship, if my parents didn't meet you, if it ain't pictures of me and you out there on the internet, we don't know you. So in response to Drew saying that, seemingly LeBron made a quick Instagram post, because everybody knows that LeBron and Savannah have been together since he was in high school. So let me go ahead and read this. He says, quick letter to my queen, simply just letting you know that I appreciate you more than this world has to offer. Been my rock, holding this shit down from the very first jump ball. With all the BS that comes into our lives throughout the years and on the daily, you've never waved, fluttered, or allowed yourself to not be strong for me, us, but more importantly, you. Where would I be today without you? I think to myself quite often. The answer usually comes back to not even close to where you would have wanted to be in life. This is my appreciation post to you, my queen, because I'm simply letting you and the world, Drew, know I ain't shit without you. All I need in this life of sin is me and my girlfriend, aka best friend, aka wife, love, king. The same king that was, in the NBA, that won championships because of Drew's games. Now, let me tell y'all, number one, do I think that Drew was lying? Do I think Drew was lying about her talking to LeBron James? I don't think she was lying. Do I think that Drew was exaggerating? Yes, absolutely, 100,000. Because whenever Drew was telling the story, she was just like, yeah, so the story goes, I was in Melrose, I was at dinner, and, he sent over a drink to my table, and he used to fly me out to his games, and yada, yada, yada. Girl, I bet he did tell you that them championships was to your songs. I cannot name one Drew Sidora song. That's probably some stuff that he did tell you when he was on his break with Savannah. That absolutely sounds like some fuckboy shit. I'm not even gonna lie. Sounds like some real cute stuff that he might have said. But my thing is like, you are a non-factor. You should have just sat there and ate your food, Drew. You shouldn't have brought this up. And I do think that that's why LeBron made that post. I know some people in Neighborhood Talk in the comments, they were just like, oh, y'all are just miserable. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all don't know what it's like to see people in love, yada, yada, yada. Now, y'all, I think it's so cute. I do think they're in love, but I think the timing of this post was pretty much like, I did talk to her. I don't want y'all gossiping about me. My wife is the only thing that mattered. It don't matter who came before my wife. And that's exactly what that post was. Okay. Esther says, before LeBron married Savannah, he used to cheat on her when they were dating. I'm sure they were on and off. I'm sure, but girl, I don't know why she brought that up. T says, I don't know, not one. Not now, okay? Thank you, Demetria. I don't know, not now, Drew Sidora song. So, girl, get out of here. Not just none. I don't know now, Drew Sidora song. So I wanted to get that off my chest before we get into the review because I wanted to show y'all the neighborhood talk post. All right. So while we are here, we like halfway through technically because we reviewed Real Housewives of Dubai. We're about to get into Real Housewives of Atlanta, and then immediately after this one, we're about to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. But before we do that, y'all already know what to do. I think we got 100 people in here, and the likes are looking kind of light. So like the video, and we can go ahead and start. Okay, now I see a couple of y'all saying the post was made on Saturday. It was just a coincidence. Okay, that was a huge coincidence. All right. Okay, so Real Housewives of Atlanta starts out where it ended last week. So all of the ladies and the men are at dinner. And this is where they were having a discussion about Sheree saying how she found out or how she heard the rumor that Ralph was gay. She obviously heard the rumor from Anthony. And Drew knew the whole time. I'm not understanding why Drew wants to protect Anthony from this rumor and put the blame on Sheree. And it's almost as if, y'all, to be real, if I kept saying that this didn't really make sense. But if you think about it in the way that is Drew and Ralph's relationship, it actually makes perfect sense. Okay, so let's start here. Number one, why would Drew try to protect Anthony from the rumor that he started about her husband and take it out on Sheree, all while keeping it a secret to Ralph? That's because I feel like Drew knows. I think Drew is behaving in a way to where she feels like she's going to get in trouble. I think Drew knows that Anthony works in the house. I think Drew doesn't want to shake up any changes in her house. I think Drew doesn't want to really fire Anthony. I think she wants to sweep it under the rug because however Ralph may react is going to be worse than her turning up on Anthony, because some way, shape, or form, Ralph is probably going to find a way to make this Drew's fault. So I feel like Drew is reacting out of fear when it comes to Ralph. But it don't make no damn sense for you to be turned up on Sheree the way that you are. And let's not forget, y'all, Sheree, I know you didn't pay that man. I know you didn't pay that man, Sheree. I know you didn't pay that man. But we have dug so far into this, ooh, is Ralph gay? Ooh, is he not gay? That no kid, we forgot that we don't even know if you pay Anthony or not. So anyway, Ralph, this is his first time hearing this, which also lets me know that Drew is behaving out of fear. Fire the man Anthony. Now that Ralph knows, there's no reason for you to keep Anthony around. And I think she does feel like she's going to get in trouble. So they basically said, now that they explained it to Drew, Sonia explained it to Drew, Marlo, Candy explained to Drew, it doesn't make sense for you to be upset with Sheree when your assistant was the one who started the rumor. And now that all of this has come to light, because keep in mind, Ralph didn't know not a dang thing about the rumor, she says, well, now I'll apologize if I put my hands in your face, Sheree. Well, Drew, you did, okay? I think two things can be true. I think that Drew can operate as a victim in her situation with Ralph, while on the other hand, she can be just like Ralph, just like all other ladies said. I think that she can gaslight all the other women, and just like Kenya said, she'll either turn up or play dumb. And that's exactly what she did in this situation, because you know damn well you put your hands in her face. And you're talking about, if I put my hands in your face, now you're trying to gaslight. So maybe you and Ralph really are meant to be. Well, whatever, y'all. So Sheree, she moves on from the situation with, yes, JC, what the hell does she do? I don't know. She don't need that many assistants. She moves on from the situation with Drew to Sheree addresses Candy, and she says, well, I was just hurt because you were my friend, and I feel like you should have told me before you went to two other people. Candy immediately says, you're right. I was wrong. And they move on. Okay. So at the dinner table, Kenya is getting these text messages and she gets up. Surprisingly, Marlo is the one to check on her and say, what's wrong? Don't let him ruin your night. What's wrong, girl? And Candy walks out behind her. I'm saying surprisingly because I get the feeling based on interviews after the show was filmed that Kenya and Marlo are really about to be getting into it. Okay. So, yes, the issue is Mark. Kenya explains to Marlo and Candy that Mark hasn't seen their daughter in 3 months. And all of a sudden, he's telling Kenya that he has to work and he can't keep Brooklyn as long as he said he would, and that he needs her to come get Brooklyn right now. So Kenya's feeling some type of way. And she's like, no, I'm going to force him to see his daughter because fathers instill confidence. And that's when Candy says, you should probably pull back some. You can't force him to see his daughter. And Candy says, no, fathers instill confidence. I really wanted to talk about this, y'all. She says, as a mother, I can't because fathers instill confidence. Number one, Candy knows good and well, okay? She's dealt with Block and Riley for what, the 18, 19, 20 years Riley done been alive. So trust and believe the advice that Candy is giving you is valid. One of the things I think Kenya is going to fail to realize is sometimes, and I hate to say it, sometimes, and you can ask people who don't have relationships with toxic parents, sometimes it's better off that they're not around. So you're saying that Mark is going to instill confidence in Brooklyn, but if Brooklyn knows that this man rarely sees her, that he don't really want to see her, and she's going to learn this the older she gets. I know she's only 3 now, so the fact that she's 3, she's going to imagine him as like some superhero. She's going to see him in a positive light. But as she gets older and she sees his shortcomings and she sees that Kenya is working double, triple the amount that her dad is, I feel like Kenya in some way or form is only going to teach her that a man doing the bare minimum is enough. I think that Kenya is going to teach her that you can force somebody to love you the right way, even though they don't really want to. And I'm getting too deep right now because I know she's only 3 and we haven't seen that much, but I just don't feel like that's a good idea for Kenya to force Mark in a way to see his daughter. Like he wouldn't have even seen, it would have been longer than 3 months had he not seen her if y'all didn't come to New York for the show. So that's a damn mess. And I have to agree. Hey, Naturally Mars, she says sometimes it causes your child to be in a toxic relationship. Exactly. And then JC says Mark could also instill in Brooklyn that she's not worthy of his love because he doesn't want to see her. He could. And then Cameron, this is the comment right here. Cameron says Kenya's response seems to stem from her own childhood relationship with her parents. Yes, but her dad was around, it seemed like. So I really don't think that's a good idea, but whatever. We'll move on. Yep, that's D. Yep. Candy was looking like, try to tell you. So now y'all, Marlo and the ladies head back to the table. And Marlo is saying, okay, now that we got all of this stuff settled with Drew and Sheree and Ralph, Candy, I gotta tell you, this stuff is getting out of hand. She's like, these vibrating panties is just too much. I know you like your business and all that stuff, but it's too much. And low key, y'all, if y'all watch my last Real Housewives of Atlanta review, I talked about this scene on the bus early because I had accidentally saw the sneak peek on Twitter. And in my mind, it was all in the same episode. So we know that Candy at this point has handed out the vibrating panties to all of the ladies. How many of the ladies? 3 of the ladies come there with their husbands, Sonia, Candy, Drew. Marlo, Sheree, and Kenya come there solo. Why the hell are you handing out vibrating panties for the use to be around other couples? And some of y'all was like, I don't see why everybody's tripping. I don't see what the big deal is. It's just vibrating panties. Okay, I get it. It's nothing wrong with the actual vibrating panties for you to use in the privacy of wherever you want to use it. For you to use on a date with the person you're with the people that you're with if you're poly, okay? But why would you want somebody else's husband to be able to vibrate your panties while y'all are all out as a group? That's weird. Real weird. And yeah, that would be uncomfortable as a single person around other couples because y'all, for seasons and seasons, we was talking about Apollo in Kenya in the way that he threw her in that pool, right? And based off that and based off text messages that they may or may not have had, everybody was calling Kenya a hoe. Do you think that Kenya will want to be involved with anybody else's man? But y'all know, Zelly Boo, I'm right there with you. Zelly Boo says, you know, Candy and Ty swing in an open relationship. Right. I thought about that. And I also thought about how a couple seasons ago, Portia and Candy was talking about how they was kissing in the club and how allegedly you wanted to take me down to your sex dungeon. I think Candy and Todd have a way of like testing people. I think the vibrating panties and the husbands controlling different people's panties was absolutely a way to test a freakometer. Is you open or is you not? Is you down or is you not? We in New York, we down if you down. I think Candy and Todd was absolutely on some we down if you down type stuff. So to me, I thought it was inappropriate. But to the audience that they were trying to capture, to the ladies that they were trying to capture to get involved in their stuff, I guess they did what they wanted to do. Yes, they was filling them out. Sonya passed the test. Fact. They're trying to recruit. Candy and Ty looking for a new plaything. Yes, they recruiting. Yep. Hey Sam. Yes, they are recruiting. Yeah, that was just weird to me. But okay. So now let's move on, y'all. Sonya and who did I say? Sonya and Candy. It feels like she went in on Ralph. Sonya and Kenya, y'all. Sonya and Kenya go for a walk. And when they do, Sonya starts switching up. Y'all, I don't see it for Sonya. She was rubbing me the wrong way. I told you. He said, wait, I just watched the Swingers episode of Martin. They did do a little test. They do a little test to see if you down or not. Absolutely. So anyway, the next day, y'all, we see Kenya and Sonya going for a walk. I don't see it for Sonya. I hope y'all follow me on Twitter because I was absolutely live tweeting during this episode. And I hope that y'all have been watching my reviews since the first episode of the season when I told y'all that something about Sonya didn't really seem right. Number one, I didn't see it for her whenever she went up to Marlo at the Lay Archive, La eBay event and didn't want to say it with her chest that she was judging or critiquing the event. She wanted to make it seem as though the other ladies were saying stuff about her event. And then whenever Sheree was actually carrying a damn bone, Sonya wanted to backpedal and be like, oh, well, we all were wondering. Well, I was wondering too. No, Sonya, say it with your chest, okay? You came over there to carry your bone, and whenever Sheree get ready to carry it like a damn linebacker receiver for you, you don't want to do it no more. So during this walk, Kenya and Sonya are talking about Drew. Kenya's like, I feel bad. I feel like I went in on Ralph. I was projecting because I saw some of the things that Mark did to me that Ralph is doing to Drew. And I just have to say, shout out to the growth. Because for Kenya to say that and immediately identify that she was projecting and that she was triggered, I don't feel like we've ever seen Kenya like this before. It actually seems like she has depth compared to what we've seen her in previous seasons. And I'm not saying she didn't have it before. I'm just saying she didn't really let us in the way that she is now. So I do like Kenya. But besides that, Sonya, Sonya, I feel like, was just trying to make it clear that even though I'm friends with Drew, I don't want y'all to think that I don't want to be on a part of y'all squad. That's what I was getting. Sonya says, even though Drew's my friend, I disagree with some of the things that she does. For instance, she disagrees with her putting her hand in Sheree's face. Okay, I disagree with it too. But whenever she picked your ass up from that car wreck when you was sitting there crying, oh my gosh, when you was sitting there crying, you could have had a conversation with her ass about it, okay? Then the other thing that she didn't agree with her with is about her business, about drop it with Drew. And leave it to Kenya to start saying, how you gonna do drop it with Drew when you got surgery, when you did this, when you did that. And we're gonna get to Kenya, but we're not gonna act like Kenya was not flipping shit about wearing a whole ass U-part wig when she brought the cookie lady on the show because you felt like that was a bad look for your business. So I'm just like, girl, you're exposing the fact, or you're talking about the fact that Drew's business is fraud. We know it's fraud. I'm just giving a case for an argument. You talking about how Drew's business is fraud, but you were tripping about wearing a U-part wig a couple seasons ago. I'm like, girl, I can't. Yes, and the Carrie conversation says, can you with the stallion booty? I can't. So to me, I'm like, Sonya, I can't fool with you because you're trying way too hard to let it be known that even though you friends with Drew, you're not really down with Drew because you still want to get picked up by the popular girls. So next, y'all, let's talk about Sheree and Kandi. Sheree and Kandi are getting ready to go to this play. And that's whenever Sheree gives Kandi a FaceTime call on the phone. And she says, you know what? Tyrone might not be able to make it. It's getting too close to the cutoff. He can only leave through 100-mile radius, and we're at a 94.6. So I don't think he's going to be able to make it. And Candy's like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. We can meet him another time. And Sheree says, spring, summer, winter, fall. It hangs up. Because Sheree is the worst at lying. The worst at lying. But she does let us know that she is planning to go see Tyrone the next day. And when she said that, I was like, you ain't seeing Tyrone the next day. And she didn't. So now it's time to get to day 2 for the dinner. So they're talking about who's the first most famous person you ever dated. Marlo tells us that she's getting to know Jazzy Faye. Jazzy Fizzle, product shizzle. She's getting to know Jazzy Faye. So I'm like, okay, that's different. Black, younger, not white, old, rich. Black, younger, rich. Okay. Kandi says Gerald Levert. Drew talks about the king of the NBA, which we talked about at the beginning of this review. I feel like she shouldn't have brought it up. It was dumb. Drew was always putting her damn foot in her mouth. Let that man and his wife live in peace. Okay? Non-factor, especially if we didn't know y'all dated. If there aren't pictures of y'all, we don't need to know. If you didn't meet his parents, we don't need to know. If we don't have pictures of you sitting courtside, we don't need to know. If there are no articles of Lebron mentioning you, we don't need to know. Okay? So Marlo says the most famous person she ever dated was Gene Simmons. I heard of the man before. He is super famous, but I wouldn't have known who he was if they didn't show the picture. So finally, Sheree says to everybody that Tyrone can't come, but she's about to go see him tomorrow. So now let's get to this whole vibrating scene. This top picture over here. This top picture over here is the vibrator check. And all the ladies, not all, Drew, Sonya, Kandi, and Marlo, I believe, and Sheree. I don't know why they marked them that way. Marlo says that she wore her panties, and then Sheree said that she wore the vibrating panties, but she forgot the remote. But now that we find out that all the remotes can control all the panties, I don't know why they didn't count Sheree, but whatever. So Sonya's in the back seat. She adjusts her vibrator. And this is how y'all know. Yep. This is how y'all know that Sonya was down with the openness. Sonya and Aaron were down to have an open relationship down the swing. They was trying to swing. Number one, Sonya got up in that bus and adjusted her vibrator, stuck her hand down into her pants and adjusted her vibrator. For one, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that in front of other people's husbands, not with them knowing at least. Next, her vibrating panties keep going off. Sonya's panties just keep zzz, 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 zzz. And Sonya's like, who's doing that? Todd, stop doing that. And when she said Todd, it made me think to myself, why did you just assume that it was Todd vibrating your panties like that out of everybody? Unless you were flattered, unless you were trying to get in where you fit in, unless you wanted them to know that you was ready to slide, ready to swing. I don't know. So come to find out, y'all, it was Ralph that was buzzing her panties. She hit him on the shoulder and laughed it off. And Aaron didn't seem to be bothered. I don't know many dudes that are not open with swinging that would be okay with that. Why are you stimulating my wife's vagina? Okay. So Kenya then says, I'm not wearing panties around nobody else's men. And Kenya, I'm right there with you. I'm glad y'all caught all of that because I'm like, why would you assume that it was Todd doing it? Your husband's sitting right next to you. Okay. So now they go to the play. Marlo is extra. She takes a bike. Everybody else walks. And the play was amazing. But let's move on from the play to actually talking about this pajama jam. And whenever I heard they were going to the pajama jam, I was like, triggered. Because it really made me think about, I will drag you off in this bitch. How many of y'all thought about that? Okay. I can't be the only one. Whenever I heard they was having a pajama jam, I absolutely thought I will drag you in this bitch. But okay. So the men come, they sit down for a hot second, and they end up leaving. So now we have all the ladies. Well, wait. I skipped a part. Before anybody shows up, we see Kenya, Sheree, and Marlo, and they're sitting there talking about Drop It with Drew. Marlo tries to go on her website. Her website is not working. So they all like, oh, this don't even seem like it's working. Like, what is it? Is this a Ponzi scheme? Is people losing weight? Is it a fitness gym? Is it a meal prep service? Like, what is it? So Drew's website isn't working. And finally, the rest of the crew comes. So the men come. And Kenya says, Ralph, I want to apologize to you because I was only projecting at the dinner table when I saw you having a conversation with Drew. I'm sorry. Y'all, Ralph is so crazy, so delusional that this man said, it's okay, Kenya. Sometimes I feel like I'm often misunderstood. Ralph took no accountability when it came to him disrespecting, mistreating his wife. He didn't. He simply said, sometimes I feel like I'm not understood. And then Drew brought her silly ass on Watch What Happens Live and says, he was hurt. He really did feel bad. He did. And I appreciate Kenya sticking up for me. He was hurt. Not apparently. What he told Kenya was that he's often misunderstood. So one, was he hurt about what he did to you? Or did he feel like everybody else was wrong except for him like he often does? But okay, Drew, I need you to take your clown mask off. Drew got her clown mask on like she always do. Okay? If anybody else is going to have a clown mask, it's going to be Drew for this season. So finally, the men end up leaving. Now we get all the ladies. And Sonya says, you know what? Now that I have the opportunity, since Kenya opened up the floor, I want to have a conversation with you, Drew. Initially I wanted to have this conversation outside of the group, but because we're here, I just figured, why not? So Drew was kind of looking at her like, what? Like, what we got to talk about? And Sonya says, well, I feel like there's been times within the group where you want me to speak up or you want me to be on your side, but I just really disagree with some of the things that you say and the way that you handle things. And Drew is just like, I don't understand. And Sonya says, well, I'm about to make you understand. What? What, Sonya? Girl, if you don't get the fuck right now. Like, as much as Drew gets on my nerves, I feel like Sonya, I just absolutely have no respect for people who do this on these shows, okay? The moves that they make on these shows are so political. So political. They cause drama with certain people because it is so political and so strategic and trying to make sure that they're on the right side of the tracks for whenever shit go down. So even though Sonya came on this show by way, I know she didn't really come from Drew, by way of Drew, you wanted the other ladies to know if y'all have shit with Drew, it's okay for y'all to talk about Drew in front of me because if y'all don't fuck with her, I don't really fuck with her like that. So I don't want y'all to think, I don't want y'all to ice me out if y'all ever decide to ice out Drew. And that's what she was doing. Where has Drew ever wanted you to speak up, Sonya? Where has Drew ever required you to get involved in her nonsense? Because it has been nonsense. I haven't seen it. So, like Drew said, I don't understand. And Sonya says, I'm about to make you understand. Girl, what? So thank you to Candy for actually calling a thing and basically saying, what are you talking about? That don't make sense. Candy said in her confessional. Now, I hope that some of these ladies hold Sonya accountable and let her know that she's really on some bullshit. I hope they let her know that she's really on some bullshit, but I don't think nobody gonna do it. So Sonya says, well, I don't like the fact that you put your hand in Sheree's face. And Drew is saying, well, you've had multiple opportunities to talk to me. You could have talked to me whenever I picked you up from that wreck. You could have talked to me inside my hotel room when you got your makeup touched up. Sonya says she couldn't have because it was too many people in the room. But y'all, please believe they had so many opportunities to talk to each other beyond this point. Sonya knows what she's doing. She's being strategic. She's doing that reality TV bullshit. The same shit that, quite frankly, and some of y'all gonna be mad at this, didn't work out for Monique in her final season of Real Housewives of Potomac. She was being strategic. Now, anyway, y'all, I don't like it. And Sonya ends up saying, well, see, this is your problem. You don't listen. And this is a prime example of Sonya trying to make the shoe fit. While Drew does have issues with some of the other ladies, and while Drew is annoying, she doesn't take accountability, she doesn't really listen, or she likes to play dumb, that situation does not fit your foot, Sonya. That situation fits the foot of Sheree. It fits the foot of Kenya. It does not fit the foot of you, but you want to align yourself with Kenya and the other ladies so badly that you're willing to risk the friendship that you have with Drew, regardless of the fact that Drew hasn't done anything to you. So I'm just like, girl, that is so ugly to me. It's so ugly to me, but whatever. So then next they go on from that to talking to her about her business dropping with Drew. Drew saying that she got surgery because of a hernia. And low key, y'all, I believe her. The only reason why I believe her is because if you were trying to get surgery to lose weight, we saw the before and after pictures, y'all. If you were trying to get surgery to lose weight, drop it with Drew. And let me find this picture, y'all, if I can. You definitely would have gotten way more snatched than what you did. I don't think that the doctor really did anything for them to be ridiculing her about the surgery that she did get done. Because if you look at the picture, she clearly didn't lose 21 pounds. She didn't lose 21 pounds, probably 10. So that's why I'm just kind of like, really? Here, I got the picture. Let me open this up so y'all can see it. I want y'all to see, and y'all tell me. It looks to me like she did get the surgery done for a damn hernia. Doesn't look like she got it done for anything else. Okay. So, I'm covering it. Hold on. Okay, so over here to the right, y'all, you see Drop It with Drew before and after. And I wish it was a way for me to make the picture bigger. But you can clearly see, oh, now it says 10 pounds down in 3 weeks. Interesting. I could have swore it said 21 somewhere else. But anyway, if you look at this picture before and after 25 pounds, question mark. I don't know what that means. But look at Drew's stomach, y'all. Y'all tell me in what world you go to a doctor to have them suck the fat out of your stomach to come out looking essentially just how you looked when you went in. Look at the picture side by side, y'all. She looks exactly how she looked when she went in. And for that reason, I'm kind of just like, y'all are absolutely reaching. Y'all are absolutely reaching if y'all are trying to make it seem like she went and got 360 lipo. But okay. Yeah, it did say 21. Okay. But yeah, she didn't go get 360 lipo. So I'm just like, y'all really reaching, but okay, whatever. So finally, y'all, this last bit of the episode, Sheree goes to I don't know why I'm laughing. I really shouldn't be laughing. I should not be laughing. So Sheree goes to Philly to see Tyrone on the final day. And I hope y'all was following me on Twitter because I was live tweeting and me and the girls was having a kiki. Okay, so follow me on Twitter at Necey Dixon. But Sheree takes the hour and 40-minute commute to go see Tyrone. And it was very much giving catfish. I was looking for Neem to pop out. Nev. I said Neem. Nev to pop out and say, all right, Sheree, are you ready to meet him? Are you excited? Do you think he is who he says he is? It was very much giving catfish. So Sheree shows up to a restaurant and she's calling his phone. She's waiting outside and it's cold. She's by the heater. And she calls him over and over and over again. And the phone is going boop, straight to voicemail. Boop, straight to voicemail. And I'm like, damn, I feel bad for her. She's telling the waitress, I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait. We know that she's cold. I'm like, girl, if you don't take your ass inside that restaurant or leave, better yet. And she calls her daughter. And that's when I was like, damn, now your daughter got to know that you got stood up. That just hurt my heart. So she says to her daughter, what does it mean whenever somebody hangs up, whenever the phone rings once and then it goes to voicemail? And her daughter says, ooh, I think that means blocked, no? Well, wait, grandma's calling me. I got to talk to you later. You can't leave my mama, just sitting there waiting for you. And Cameron, I'm right there with you. Tyrone would have got 30 minutes. So at one point, he's an hour and 34 minutes late. And finally, the producer comes to Sheree and they say, well, we're on the phone with his attorneys right now. They say there's a violation and that he can't make it. And Sheree is just like, well, why didn't he call me? Why didn't he stop me from coming? And when Sheree said, why didn't he stop me from coming? My heart immediately got sad because, y'all, in my young mind, I just really think that all women of a certain age should know better. I just feel like it just made me understand that, like, being wise does not come with age. Like, Sheree was absolutely giving little girl. If you didn't talk to that man on the way there, she said she talked to him that morning. He claimed he was coming. But if you didn't talk to him on the way there and he wasn't answering the phone, the bus would have got turned around. If you sat there for 30 minutes and he wasn't there, you should have left. It was embarrassing. It was sad. But I do feel like Sheree should know better. So she calls Kenya on the phone, tells Kenya what happened. Kenya's giving her good advice. Exactly, Chrislyn. Violation for what, though? He's in the city and state where you're supposed to reside at. So how would that be a violation? Facts. So Kenya gives her some good advice. Girl, keep your head up. This is strike one. That was bad advice. Strike one. And Sheree says, this is strike fucking 50. And she's crying. And when Sheree says this is strike 50, I feel like he's probably played her for a damn fool before. JC says being on the show was a violation. I don't know. But it was just embarrassing. Like, my chest. I was like, I can't watch somebody mama sit up here and be stood up. I cannot. I simply cannot. Okay. But that's all we got for Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. We got one more show to get into. We are about to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville and Love and Marriage DC. So if y'all hang out right here, you should be redirected to the next live. And if you're not, y'all make sure y'all subscribe and y'all notifications are turned on so we can go ahead and get into the show, okay? I hope y'all enjoyed this live. I'll see you in the next one right after that. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all in a few seconds. Bye. I